Because our gardens do not need to be perfect. They just need to be perfect for us. And while there is lots of opportunities and things to improve, my garden is definitely far from perfect. It has been a labor of love that I have literally done 10 minutes at a time every day. And it's gone from nothing to this. So welcome to my garden and my sanctuary in soil. I would like to give you a little bit of a tour to my garden and introduce you to it in all of its glorious imperfection. And let's go bed by bed. I have 6 beds. This is bed number 1, and it is made out of wood. And in one of my videos I'm going to talk about the different types of beds that I have and materials. But this is my bed number 1. Oh gosh, I think it's like 12 feet by 1.5 feet. And of all the beds right now, this is the one that represents being ready for it to be turned for the second part of summer. As you can see, everything is in total disarray, but in here I have some basil, some kale. I have a pot with my beautiful zinnias that I didn't know what to do with them, and after we pulled the garlic, that's what was in the space. It was all the garlic. I just put the pot in there so that I can enjoy my zinnias. Next to it was all my radishes that have been already done, and I left some for seeds, and as you can see, there's still more seeds. I already taken out a lot of them, and so I gotta go pick them and clear this whole area. And then I have my Swiss chard that is also ready to just be picked up and taken away. And when I do that in the next few days, this whole bed, I'm gonna clear it and prepare it for my late summer. At the end, against the wall, you're gonna see little green beans plants that I put in there, and I really planted them in the middle of summer after I taken the peas out, which the peas in this same location did fabulous. Some of the green beans are doing okay, and they're growing, as you can see, and growing and growing and growing. But I don't know if I'm gonna get any out of them before I need to pull them out to prepare for my peas for fall. So that is bed number 1. Okay, bed number 2 and bed number 3 are the same type of beds. There are 8 feet by 2 feet wide, and these are my tomato beds. As you can see, these are where all my tomatoes are. And oh, one thing I did not mention is that my entire garden is surrounded by this, metal chain link fence that it was a little bit under 5 feet tall. And what I did is to support my tomatoes all the way to the top, which they are probably about 9 feet tall. What I did is I added a cattle panel. I don't know if you can see it back there. And the cattle panel is about 4 feet wide, and so about 1.5 feet overlaps the fence, and I tied it with zip ties, and that has been perfect and enough to support the tomatoes. The most the tomatoes go over the cattle panel is about 1 foot. Looks. So I am happy with that result. This is the first time I did this. Last year my garden did not look like this at all. Last year was my first garden, and well, I will show you in one of these videos what that looked like. And so I have about 7 tomato plants in each of these beds, and there are different kinds of tomatoes. And then I just did companion planting, but again, you remember this is kind of like the end of the first part of summer, so it's not looking so good right now after all the heat we've been getting. I have a lot of diversity that I plant just because I want to learn things, to see how things grow. In here I have marigold that I had no idea it grew into this like 4-foot monster. Yeah, not doing that again in this bed. And then I literally planted 1 potato, so I believe I have potatoes underneath that. And there is more marigold, and then here's basil that is just not looking so good, with a branch of tomatoes over it. It's a mess. This is what happens when you're just learning gardening, guys. I love it. And then I have more kale, also not doing so hot, and a little bit more basil, and then more marigolds. And then in bed number 3, more marigold and basil, a lot taller but still not looking any better. And all this space is empty, but come the fall I will be doing a lot more companion planting. I will be adding soil, amending it, leaving the tomato plants in here. You can see where they're producing. They have produced so much tomatoes. It's amazing. Look at that. I love it. And you can see some of the cherry tomatoes, and from this side you can see a lot more. I took a big harvest the last couple of days, but there's lots of tomatoes still there to be gotten. And I need to come and clean up these plants, which I think will give them breathing room to produce more. So let's go to bed number 4. Alright, bed number 4 is this white long bed. I can't remember how long it is. I'm gonna have to do a video on just the beds. And this is my pepper bed, and that's just how I designed it. In future videos I'm going to show you how I plan my garden. I have a whole Excel layout and all that. It's I'm a little planner. I truly have enjoyed the process. And that's the thing about having your own little garden in your home, right? That you get to decide what the experience is going to be like. It doesn't have to be any particular way. It has to be the way that you want it to be. And whatever way you want it to be and whatever way it ends up being, it's just perfect. No matter how ugly or pretty it ends up being. Anyway, so going back to my pepper bed. Here's my pepper bed. And the first ones at the end are all of my spicy peppers. And you're going to see this plant has been amazing with the production. Look at this. I need to come here and harvest a lot of jalapenos. And then back here I have more. This is cayenne. You see them there? Great. And so these 3 little plants in here are the spicy ones. Oh, and here in the corner, not only because of color, but because I love basil, a purple basil. And those here is another spicy, and let's see what is this? This is Sureño pepper. And so you can see, fold it, didn't mean to do that. Here's more of the peppers. It's also full of peppers, and as you can see, lots of flowers. So these guys here are doing quite well. Now these guys over here, these 2 peppers right there and right here, not so well at all. I made a big mistake. Sometimes we make mistakes and it turns out like this, which is just fine. You know, I'm just learning and I love it. Here's another pepper plant, and this is for regular green peppers, I think. Sometimes you don't remember what you planted where, and you don't put a label. I am planting new nasturtiums flowers in there to give some color to that bed, and I have a space to do it. And here are some other, I think this was a purple peppers, nothing in there now, but I really got a lot of peppers out of that plant. And back here is what I would say is my summer favorite. This is the Corbaci peppers. I mean, they have been absolutely prolific in production. Love them. They are not spicy at all. See that? They're not spicy at all, and they're amazing. Oops, with any cooking. Love them. And oops. And easy to cut and cook with them. Love them. Oh, let me pick up the one I dropped. Oh, there you go. Okay, and here I have some pepper, oregano plant. There you go. That is spreading, and I'm just, again, learning how that works. Pretty interesting. And then this is one of my favorites too of the season. It's called lipstick pepper. Look at that color. It's just turning red right now. It goes from green to this purple to this intense red. Oh, here you go. Like this one. And it looks like lipstick. Look at that. And look how many peppers. There's one here, one there, one in there. Look how green is this one. Then we'll turn intense red. So those are my pepper plants for this bed. And then now let's go to my arch. Alright, so I knew I wanted a trellis. It's not looking so good right now because of all the sick leaves, but I love my trellis. It is absolutely gorgeous. I definitely need to learn more about what to plant on it. I wanted to have some flowers, and clearly some of the flowers I planted are way too big because now I can't go through it. But in this trellis, I also planted too many plants, and I kind of had the feeling that that was going to be the case. But boy, did I planted too many plants together. The cool thing about it is that here comes the cucumbers, here come the melons, and cucumbers and melons, and cucumbers and melons, and it is a total mess. Oh yeah, and the purple beans that are hanging in the front part of it. I mean, come on, that is just gorgeous. I love it. There is some sort of sickness in the leaves, as you can see. Oh, and I need to clean them up. But again, zero stress, guys. Zero stress. The whole point of having a sanctuary is so that you can enjoy it. And if you're worried about what it looks like and what you got to do or not do and haven't done, then it's not enjoyable. I mean, look at those zinnias. I just look at them, and isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Look how gorgeous they are. That's the yellow, and here on the left side, I have the red. I mean, that's gorgeous. Okay, some bees are buzzing around. Anyways, so learned a lot from this experience. Oh look, there's a cucumber right here. How in the world did it get all the way over here when I planted it all the way over there? Yes, plants grow. I mean, when it's sunny, I just stand underneath this trellis and it feels amazing. So if you have the space, I strongly suggest you have a trellis or an arch somewhere in your garden. As you can see, it does not take that much space. I will be talking about trellises in future videos and even how to put together, okay? I will put it in the notes when the video is ready, and I will put it down under the notes so that you can click on it and go to it, okay? Okay, let's go to bed number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so bed number 5 is my in-ground bed. So I don't know, do you call it a bed? It's in ground. Like literally each one of my beds are completely different. So this one I worked with the local soil, whatever I had. Of course, I did work to improve it, and I continue to work to improve it because I have seen the big difference between that and my other beds. So for right now, of course, I have a lot of marigolds, and then I do have a few pepper plants. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pepper plants that I put in here in the middle. They're not doing so well because they were suffocated by the squash plants that I had there earlier, and so they are not doing so well. I will have to either rethink the squash plants or just not put peppers in here. But right now I have my second round of zucchini and squash. This one's a squash and oh, look, squash, it's already coming out. Yay! These are my second round. The first round are already gone. And so that's my zucchini. And I actually planted 2 zucchini and 2 squash. Only 1 squash made it and 2 zucchini. This one and that one. But as you can see, that one is not doing so well. But that's okay. And then I have open spots in there that I had more zucchinis and squash, and I decided to just keep it to 2 and 2. And the other one died. So I just put my flower pots in there to fill in the space and make it look beautiful and make me happy. Here in the middle, I have this marigold plant that is one of the monstrosities that became 4 feet tall. I trimmed this one because it was too much. And here is the other one that was also, well, still like 3.5 feet. Enormous. I don't mind that one, I guess. I had to really plan it better now that I know what it looks like. And over there I have lemon something plant and another purple basil. I love purple basil. It just brings color, and I mean, who doesn't love basil, right? Another flower pot over there inside the bed. And this plant right here, oh my gosh, this is my most favorite for the season, and it is called pineapple ground cherries. That's not the actual name. Do I have the name in here? No, I don't have the name in it. But let me tell you, I heard other gardeners talk about pineapple ground cherries, but this is by far my most surprised and most favorite. I come here every day, and I planted a bunch of other ones in pots. I come here every day looking for the ground cherries. See, there it is. But you can't eat them or take them until they fall. Oh, look how many there are underneath there. Yay! And there's one sticking out right there. But literally, they call ground cherries because you cannot eat them until they're in the ground. So I always come here looking in the ground for them. I keep having my peppers. Anyways, love, love, love that. That is definitely a keeper. Over there I have more marigolds and something that's called mosquito something. Didn't do so well at all. And then under the trellis I actually came and late planted more basil and some oh, that's a pepper plant that I had left over that didn't do so well. And then I planted oh yeah, Lissum, but didn't do so well at all either. That's okay. And then you see the oh, and some weeds. You always have weeds. That's okay. Anyways, so I need to come and clean some of these things. But and that is, oh, and the other side is, oh, I'm gonna go to the other side and show you my other plants that I don't know if I'm gonna like them or not yet because I haven't tried the fruit. And that is the tomatillos on the other side. But let's go over there and I'll show you. Okay, so on this side of the trellis, I planted tomatillo plants. And everything I read and watched said that you had to plant tomatillo plants in twos. So I wanted to make sure that it worked, because it said that if you don't plant them in twos, then you won't get tomatillos. You had to have at least 2 plants. And so I planted 3. And I have been getting tomatillos. Oh, here's the tomatillo. See right there? So I have been getting tomatillos. Oh, and here's another one right there. And I haven't tasted them yet because I don't have enough to make a sauce. But I'm getting close. You see how they drop? See right there in the bottom? So I had to pick it up. And that's what you do tomatillo sauce with. Very expansive, a lot more than I thought. And one of the things about building a garden is that you have to understand how things grow. See how that thing is sticking out? Like at least 2 feet into the patio? And I wasn't planning for that. I don't know. So I need to figure out if that is the right thing to put in here, or maybe I should trim it and train it to stay within a space. But that's part of the whole garden design, right? And the great thing about it is there is no right answer, or wrong answer actually. There is no wrong answer. Whatever way you want to do it is the right way, because it's your raw way, it's your way. So anyway, so that's what the side of the trellis looks like. And the tomatillo plants back there, 3 of them. All right, and that is bed 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5. And it is an in-ground bed that has been mended with different type of soil mixed in with the Georgia clay. Which, by the way, that's where I am. I'm in Georgia. You may have noticed that I also have pots all over the garden, but that's going to be conversation for another time. That's an actually, let me just tell you about this one. That is a sucker from a tomato. Well, one of my tomatoes back there, see my tomatoes back there? To see how tall they are and gorgeous. Okay, so I got a sucker and I literally planted it in a pot. And this is what became of the sucker. It really turned into a full-fledged tomato tree or plant. And it's already giving me tomatoes, and here comes more tomatoes right there. See that? And so it is true that you can get full-size tomato plants from the suckers of other plants, which is amazing. And these are the other ground cherries, and it's eggplants, and apparently I thought this plant was a melon, and guess what? It's a cucumber plant. See, you get surprises from your gardening. This is one of my favorite plants too that I planted this year. Never even ate much of them before, but now I am growing them and I literally eat them raw, and they are, oops, it's okra. Anyways, great plants, very hardy. My other eggplant not doing so well. More ground cherries. And then I have another okra plant. As you can see, this okra with a twisted top, which is really weird that happened. And I figured I just had more plants that I had space to plant. One of the dangers of having a garden and prepare. Oh, and by the way, I grew 95% of these plants from seed. And one of the dangers of doing that is that you end up with more plants that you have pots for. Oh, this one I actually bought a starter plant. This is blackberry. It was a tiny little plant, and now it's just growing so much I need to decide what the heck I'm gonna do with it. Anyway, so that's the initial tour. I will be sharing a lot more details about all the things that I have in here, but I just wanted to... Oh, isn't that beautiful? Can you hear the birds? This is the introduction to my garden that I will be sharing with you, and my hope and dream is that I will get to inspire you to build your own garden, even if it's just a pot or 2 or 3 or 4, and create your little corner, your little sanctuary in soil that makes your heart sing like that little bird singing behind us, and helps you have a space where you can sit and enjoy a moment of peace and happiness and joy in your garden. And why not be able to eat from it and have healthy and organic food? If I can inspire at least one of you to do that, it would really make this whole journey or this whole sharing worthwhile. Let me get one of these tomatoes. I just need to eat one. See that? So good. Okay, thank you for accompanying me in this first tour ever of my garden. If you enjoy it, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and follow me in this journey, not only where I share my successes and my failures and how much I enjoy the journey, and maybe teach you a couple of things that I'm learning along the way, and ideally inspire you to create your own sanctuary in soil. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.